As the leisure travel industry remains closed under lockdown, the tourism industry has been placed under immense financial pressure. This has been compounded by the rejection of insurance claims by businesses that have been devastated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, businesses in these sectors, tourism and hospitality, they've launched an online petition calling on their insurance providers to pay out their business interruption claims. After years of paying business interruption insurance, with extensions covering infectious and notifiable diseases, insurers have taken to rejecting these claims. Let's unpack the story. We're joined now by Rob Moore. He's the CEO of hospitality company Moore Family Collection. And Rob, you started this online petition. What is the basis? Let's perhaps start here, Rob. Thanks for your time this morning on the AM Report. But let's begin here. So businesses have been paying this business interruption insurance for years and years. On what basis do insurers now reject these claims?
Thank you. I mean, the irony here is that this is the insurance company's policy. This is their extension and inclusion of communicable diseases. These are policies that have been crafted by them, that were presented to us and many other businesses like us, and associated to any insurance cover is a premium. And we as an industry and as a business have been paying these premiums every month for years. And now it comes to the event, which is an insured event.
Yep.
It's very crystal clear in our policy. And we are asking for them to cover, and they are finding every possible way to avoid the claim. And it is unethical. It is just appalling corporate behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you get that email saying that your claim has been rejected, there should be reasons underneath. What are those reasons?
So the reason, they believe that the reasons are that the interruption to the business was affected by the government lockdown and not the communicable disease, which is COVID-19. We know that, to be honest, is semantics, because the one caused the other. So that's their argument, that they feel that the cover is not there. But if you just simply look at the inclusion in the policy of communicable disease cover, surely a COVID-19 is exactly that.
So, Rob, I mean, you have some confidence here in this online petition, and should you take it further and get to the stage of litigation, that you should be covered here and that you'll win a case like that, surely?
I mean, look, the sad reality is we live in a world where often, the legal process, as we're seeing in many other sectors, is often very drawn out. It depends on the team of lawyers that you have on your side. Yes, ultimately we are hopeful that we will achieve success, but our industry can't survive. We've had zero income since March. We are on the cusp of a wave of enormous retrenchments. I mean, the question that maybe you can perhaps ask to the insurance companies is, how many of those executives and how many of those employees have had pay cuts? Our industry, on average, has suffered between 60 and 80% pay cuts, probably going back as far as April. We are running out of oxygen in our industry, and the insurance industry is holding back. They are stalling the process. They are burying it in a legal process. And as we all know, in a legal process, the main winner are the lawyers. And so why spend money on a legal process? Why not come to the table? And we understand the scale of the claim, because this is a national event. But yet that doesn't mean that, I mean, we too, as an industry, are being decimated. And all we're simply asking for is come to the table and let us negotiate a business settlement where all of us can take an element of responsibility for the situation. Because the only way we're going to survive is that actually if every South African takes an element of pain from this event.
No, absolutely. And there's something to be said about the ethics of how businesses operate during a pandemic. What is the story that will be told about these insurance companies when we look back on COVID-19 in South Africa? But you're talking about these massive numbers, people who have lost livelihoods in the sector. I'm just looking at this article, the Federated Hospitality Association of SA, estimating that the lockdown, COVID-19, the resulting lockdown, it's threatened the livelihoods, this article says, of more than 600,000 employees, causing the closure of around 49,000 small businesses. And, if we look at this in light of our current employment numbers, the death of small businesses can only mean one thing for South Africa.
And and added to that, a lot of the hospitality operations, certainly those that are leisure-based, are situated in remote parts of the country where those little small community economies don't exist. They cannot survive without the small contributions that they get from either ecotourism businesses or guest houses or remote country lodges. Now that has all been, that revenue stream and that input into that economy, and regardless of the employment numbers, it's all the dependents that rely on that one job. And that's not there. And I just think as a collective effort, as South Africans who are in this together, we went in this together, we need to come out of this together. And I find that the behavior of the insurance companies to sit back, to throw a legal process in front of this, and it's just irresponsible and unethical.
I'm just looking at what you were talking about earlier, about it being semantics, the reasons behind insurance companies not paying out. They're saying that this closure of business was not, this business interruption was not caused directly by COVID-19, but from the lockdown. And again, the City Press article telling us that there was one business also that tried to prove that its closure was directly linked to COVID-19 because it had a positive case of the coronavirus in its hotel. And even that business, according to this article, was rejected in terms of its insurance claim. So I guess the question here, Rob, is what is the next step? You're saying litigation is not really an option because that's money spent in the direction of lawyers that the industry itself cannot afford, given that the people who are in the industry haven't earned a salary since March. So what's next here?
Look, I think we need to keep the pressure up. We will survive this. Plenty of casualties, but we will survive this. And I guess coming out of it, that saying that many of us have heard is never waste a crisis.
Yeah.
And I think coming out of this, we will know who our true partners are. And if those companies decide to keep kicking this can down the road and not come to the table, not negotiate, and not support us in getting us through this crisis, then we will know when we come out the other end, we will be able to choose partners that are there for us. And let us hope that that they don't leave it too long until they realize that is a risk on their own business. Because unless they come and join us now and support us now in this process, we will be given the choice, and it'll be very clear to us who our partners are and who our partners aren't. And we will either be developing our own insurance product as an industry, or we will find alternative insurers to support us. And I guess that's their incentive. But it is very clear to us that unless they come to our aid now, we will not be doing business with them into the future.
Well, Rob, thanks very much for your time on the AM Report, and all the best to you. Incredibly disturbing, this one. Insurance claims, business interruption claims being rejected by insurers. Let's just give you a reminder of the numbers, the livelihoods at stake here. 600,000 employees in the tourism and hospitality sector. It could cause the closure of around 49,000 small businesses around the country. Rob, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you for sharing the story. Thank you.